I remember it like it was yesterday. My mom brought me to my first karate class at 3 years old. But here's the deal, I didn't want to be there at all. In fact, I was a painfully shy kid. I come from a really big family. I have five sisters and three brothers. That's right, there's nine of us, all right? And when I was so shy that when my sisters had their friends over, when I had extended family come over, I would hide. And would hide under tables, I would hide in closets, I would hide under beds, anywhere I could hide so I didn't have to interact with anyone. But my mom, she was determined that I wouldn't grow up in a shell and shy as a kid. So she signed me up for my first karate class at 3 years old. And I didn't want to be there. So she, of course, forced me to do it. I get onto the karate mat and I'm like kind of, like leaning backwards as she kind of pushes me and I sit down. And I just look around and I hear lots of noises and yelling, and I'm kind of intimidated by the whole thing. I definitely don't want to be there. So I think of the one thing that kids can do to get out of something they don't feel like doing, and that is embarrass my mom by screaming. So I started screaming and crying in the middle of the class. My mom, of course, embarrassed, stomps her way over, grabs me by the ankles, and starts to pull me off the mat. And I put my hands on, I remember putting my hands on the mat and clawing down. So I kind of left a mark as I left. And now it's kind of like a funny story. But when I think back, I think about how grateful I am that my mom put me in that position. She forced me to do something I didn't necessarily feel like doing at the time, right? But now I look back, I'm super grateful that she did, because she didn't introduce me to martial arts. Then I don't think I would have felt the confidence that I have today to do public speaking or speak in front of you like I am now. And I've seen other kids go through the same exact transformation that I did. And I wanted to give you a little bit of my story so it can hopefully motivate you. So my name is Matthew Brenner. I run Action Karate Online. And today I'm going to reveal to you the black belt secrets to how to quickly get your child to build strength, develop confidence, and fight mediocrity. Now, this is a proven program for parents who are willing to just leave things up to chance and hope their kids figure things out on their own. All I ask you during this presentation, which I'm going to keep as short as I can, is to make sure you put down your phone, close your other windows, make sure you don't have any distractions, because this is really important. This is for your child's education, and I want to make sure you make the best decision possible. So, who is Action Karate for? Well, if you try to getting maybe your child to be into like other sports and maybe they're not into it as you were as a child, maybe your child plays too many video games, or maybe your child gives up on stuff too easily, right? Or what a lot of parents come to us for is if you ask your child to repeat, you have to repeat yourself, getting your child to do things over and over and over again. Now, like I said, I'm going to keep this quick because I know you're busy and I want to make sure that I respect your time. So, like I said earlier, like who am I, right? Well, first of all, I'm one of 9 kids. I have 5 sisters and 3 brothers. That's right, there's 9 of us. I grew up in a really hectic household. My mom signed me up for karate when I was 3 years old, and I never looked back. I started teaching at 12 years old. Since then, I've trained over 10,000 kids. And the coolest part about doing this for a living, is that I'm able to train with world-leading experts, not just in karate, but in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, in Aikido, in Krav Maga, in Taekwondo. So all the things that we incorporate into our program at Action Karate. And not only that, we also built an all-star staff of child psychologists, military veterans, nutritionists, school educators to create the best possible program for kids. Now, here's the thing. I get you because I deal with many parents for many years, right, who have come to us for similar reasons. Maybe they get frustrated because their child gives up when they don't get something the first time, or maybe like a parent, we often gets upset or frustrated or angry with their child because they have to repeat themselves. And as a parent, I think sometimes people get worried that they're not always saying or doing the right thing. And they want their child to be able to develop all these skills that aren't often taught in school. But here's the problem. Kids are often thrown into new activities without learning discipline outside the home. And parents just hope that things work out. They hope their child's character develops, but we all know that if they make the wrong friends or follow the wrong crowd, it's easy for that to go the wrong direction. And here's also the other thing that I think is really missing in our schools is kids are forced to learn what they think they should do from TV or movies or friends when it comes to standing up for themselves and when it comes to self-defense. Now, why does action karate get long-term results? Well, here's the reason. Well, first of all, if you join our program, you never have to worry that your child is missing life lessons. You never have to be embarrassed about your child misbehaving. You don't have to worry about rain delays or an off season. You never have to wonder, what if I did more for my child in order for them to reach their potential? Now, in today's program, I'm going to show you the exact strategies and techniques we use to help develop our students to be strong and confident. But here's the hard way to do it. You drag your kids to activities they hate. You try to force them to have good attitude. You kind of hope it works out. You have to apologize for them. Maybe you buy a bunch of new stuff, right? Maybe you buy a piano or a drum set or a bunch of lessons for soccer or baseball, and then they quit after a few months after you invest all that money. Now, we've got this stuff figured out because it's been tested and proven over the last 24 years, and I'm going to show you that in our PCL system. And I'm not just going to kind of like tell you like some ideas like, oh, this is good or that is good. I'm not going to break it down actually and show you not only the strategies but the specific tactics we use. And then after we do that, I'm actually going to show you proof that this actually works for parents. Now, our PCL system has 3 different phases. The first phase is where we build strength and flexibility, balance, and coordination. Okay, so you can build strong kids. The second part is our character development, and that's where your child is able to learn confidence, focus, discipline, and respect. And the L part is the lifestyle recalibration. This is where it all comes together, and it becomes part of your child's identity. It just becomes natural. That they're respectful and have confidence and they're strong. Now, like I said earlier, there's proof that this works. And I'm going to get to more of that later. And in fact, our biggest fans are teachers, principals, guidance counselors. But like I said, we'll get to more of that later. But first, let me break down the phases for you. The first phase is physical growth. Okay? Now, the most important thing is during physical growth is that your child's actually having fun. And it's easier to build strong kids than to fix broken adults. So the first tactic is our physical growth, and that's where, went a little fast, that's where your child's going to do exercises designed by Marines, by military veterans, that they could exercise at home based on their skill level, right? So if one child is really athletic and another child is not, well, we modify and accommodate so every child can build strength at home with minimal equipment so they feel strong. The next part of it is your child's going to learn the karate foundations. This is where they're going to learn the ancient art of karate, practiced for centuries, kicks, blocks, strikes, stances, everything they need to know in order to feel confident that they could defend themselves if they had to. Now, a lot of parents will have a fear that if your child learns how to kick or punch, they're going to hurt someone. Like it's going to be a license to do so. But it's actually the exact opposite. People who know how to defend themselves and know how to punch or kick or block, they're the ones who are confident enough that they never have to use those skills. And you can ask anyone who's been involved in martial arts, they'll agree with me there. Now, the third tactic we use in our physical part of our program, our first phase, is the balance. And this is where your child's going to learn how to use both sides of their body equally so they can learn balance and coordination. Now, while many of our students, they just do karate, but we also have a lot of students that do other sports as well, whether it's baseball, soccer, football, whatever. And coaches always report to us and tell us how much better coordination and balance their martial arts students have because they are able to practice it in a safe setting at home in a way where they can slowly build those skills over time. Now, the second phase of our program, this is the C part, this is the character development. This is where your child builds focus, confidence, discipline, and respect. Now, here's the first way we do that with short and long-term goal setting. Here's where your child learns grit. According to Angela Duckworth, grit is the #1 indicator of a success. So here's how we do that. We have a belt system, and the belt system allows us to motivate our students by having tangible, real goals. Okay, so if you join soccer or baseball and you get better at it, okay, that's good. Like you might score more, get more playing time, but you don't really, there's no tangible way for you to track your progress or how much better you're getting. In martial arts and karate, there's something tangible, something really amazing about kids being able to visualize not only a short-term goal, but a long-term goal and feel what that goal is like and be able to wear that goal. So that's where our students are able to not only deal with short-term, but long-term goal setting, especially good for parents who have their kids quit things often, okay? The second part is, this is part of our character development, is practical real-life examples and role-playing. So this is where your child's going to learn real-life skills in order for them to build better focus. So for instance, one of the things we talk about for focus is good eye contact. And we don't just say those words, we actually practice it in class. And we'll have practice it with class, we'll have them, give them homework to practice it with their friends or with their parents at home. We're also going to give them specific skills that they're going to be able to hone through homework to practice their discipline, their respect, and of course, most important to us, we feel, is that they're able to apply these skills at home, at school, and with their friends. If they only do it in their karate class, well, we've honestly failed them, okay? We want them to be able to apply these skills everywhere. And one of the first things we teach when a student starts with us is how to have their posture. That means back straight, chin up. A lot of people think that the best defense against bullying is kicking or punching, but it's just not true. The best defense against bullying is not looking like a victim. Having your back straight, chin up, not looking like someone you could pick on or push around. Now, that's just the second tactic. The third tactic we use is consistent practice of the fundamentals. So eye contact, like I mentioned earlier, yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, no, sir, no, ma'am, and learning responsibilities at home. So when students first start with us, they actually have to earn their white belt, their first belt. Now, a lot of schools you start, they'll just give you your white belt when you begin. We don't believe in any of that. We feel like our students have to earn everything, and they have to have responsibilities at home. So they're going to learn these fundamentals, not just at home if you do it with them, or not just at school, but at karate where it'll help everywhere else. Now here's phase 3. This is the lifestyle recalibration. This is kind of where it all comes together. This is where your child's going to get positive reinforcement. So we never get upset or angry or yell at kids like you might have seen like old karate TV shows or movies. We all use positive reinforcement. And what that means is we find something good and we talk about that over and over again. Or let's say your child is maybe messing around a little bit, right? And the other child in class is doing really well. We'll point out and highlight the student that is doing well, so your child's going to want to be just like them. So we always use positive reinforcement to teach our students. And the next thing, and this is probably the most important, is overcoming challenges. The only way to grow is to overcome challenges through difficulty. So our curriculum is designed to be difficult and have increased challenges, like the graph I have over here. So in the beginning, it's easy, but then we put speed bumps. We make things difficult. And when they get to that speed bump, that's where your child comes to you and they say, karate's too hard, I don't like sweating, it's boring. And they might come to you and say one of those things. But we only look for families in our program. They're going to push and encourage their kids. Because if you want your child to truly learn confidence, discipline, respect, if you want them to go strong and healthy, you're going to have to push them to do things sometimes that they don't feel like doing. Or maybe they think they can't do. Because every time they get past one of those speed bumps, one of those challenges, they're going to look back and be like, wow, I did that. And that's where that confidence grows. Confidence grows from doing things that are difficult, not from doing things that are easy, and looking back and saying, wow, look what I did. Now, this is the PCL system, and it all comes together to create smart, strong, and confident kids. Not just kids who know how to kick and punch, okay? Kicking and punching is kind of like our fun way of teaching these life skills. So what I want you to think about now is how would that positively impact your child's life if they were able to learn these skills? Like, how would it actually affect them? And how would it affect your life as a parent? Would it make it easier to be working from home? Would it give you more time to do things around the house? You're not constantly repeating yourself or yelling at them or having to hold their hand to do tasks or responsibilities that they know they should already do. Would that lead to your child being better at school or having better behavior at home? And would you feel better as a parent that you're setting your child up to be successful, giving them all the tools they need, and like I said earlier, not just hoping things work out? Now, I don't think you should ever take my word for it. I'm going to show you proof that our programs work. So this is a mom. This is one of our students, Isabella, and I'm going to show you. I'll get this out of the way over here. I'm going to show you how her mom wanted confidence for her daughter and what she had to say about us.
This is the best decision that I have been taking for Isabel, because she was doing different classes before, not with karate. This is the first time for karate. She was doing ballet, art. She still like art, but it's not the same. Now it's like she's building confidence. In the past, I was asking to say, "Hey, Isabella, could you please just say hello, say good afternoon, bye?" And she was shy. She said no, 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 no. And now she's different. And now she can send a video, even with my family. Now she likes, or she enjoys more speak with my family through face video. Face call. In the past, she wasn't. She didn't like to speak. She said, no, 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 I'm afraid. And I was asking, why you are afraid? But now, she's better. And, as mother, I'm happy because I know my daughter is building confidence. I'm sure because she's changing. When I saw her even outside in the bicycle, she looks confident. She looks secure of herself. And that's why I'm so glad, and I think this is a very good decision for my daughter.
Really cool. So she's obviously talking about her daughter and her being super shy, not really wanting to talk to people. Kind of reminded me a little bit of me. So I thought that was really important to share. So let me show you the next one. This is the Lewis family, and what they wanted for their child was discipline. So let's see what they have to say.
I think it is because of the structure and the discipline that's coming through the class that makes them more aware of the things that we were doing as adults, that's making them, want to be inquisitive about it. Like, okay, well, how does this work? Or how does this happen?
Yeah.
Because they have discipline and more discipline and structure that's being implemented in their life.
So they wanted more discipline for their kids. That's what they came here for. That's why they started training with us online. And they talked about how the kids want to do laundry and cook, and they were just so amazed. So by the way, you can find all these testimonials on our website. You can watch the full thing. I'm just showing you little clips. Let's see the next one over here.
I think it is because...
So this is actually an elementary school principal. And she talked about why she signed her son up. And we get a lot of teachers, kids, guidance counselors, principals, stuff like that, because they value the education more than anyone. So let's see what she had to say.
Well, I'm the principal of an elementary school, and I also have 4 kids. So I find all of the things that they teach, that you teach in karate, to be very, very important for school readiness. Self-discipline, focus, confidence, all of the things that he's learning in karate are going to perfectly help my preschooler transition into kindergarten and be successful. So that's why we were looking at karate, and we've been so happy with you guys.
Cool. Thanks for saying that. And I know that when Knox first started, you had an idea about what you wanted for him to gain out of karate. Now that you've seen classes, what do you feel like he benefits the most out of it?
I really think that he has improved in listening. He is the third in the house, so he is often allowed, especially after last spring in the pandemic. I had older kids who had more pressing academic needs, and he was a little bit on his own for a while. So it was really nice to see him be able to actively engage with the teacher, develop a relationship with the program, and build some stamina. The first couple classes he could manage, 5 to 10 minutes, and now we get through the whole class, and he's able to focus and be part of the class for the whole time.
kind of feel good for any parent, right? Like, hey, you can only do something in the beginning, but then you see them grow in front of your eyes. Anyway, we get a lot of teachers and principals. So let's see this next one. This is Braden's mom talking about how she loves getting real feedback, even though it's virtual. And the Yoder family, this is them talking about how they love that their children are able to learn responsibility and that they're learning all these skills that they, you hope you learn at school, you hope they learn with their friends, but we make happen. It's not something we just hope happens, all right? Now, I know what you're thinking. Does online karate, does it really work? Can they really learn it the right way? And to be honest, when we first started, I didn't think it was going to, all right? So we've been teaching in person for a really, really long time, and we were forced to do online because of the shutdown, because we had so many people that depended on us, and I thought it was going to be horrible. I was like, this is not going to work. Kids aren't going to learn it the right way. They're not going to stay engaged. It's not going to be fun. And I didn't think it was going to work, but I discovered two things after going through it. The first thing is kids learn extremely well from a screen. They learn better from a screen than any of us do because they're basically born with a screen in their hand. And they're used to being entertained from a screen, whether it's a video game or a YouTube video or whatever. So they're able to focus super well on a screen. And, of course, it's not just sitting there watching, right? They're part of the class. They're staying engaged. They're moving, all right? So, but once again, I can say all I want. I want you guys to not take my word for it. Let's see what other people have to say. This is Isaac's family. You can watch this whole testimonial on our website. But, he was hesitant about doing it online, and they just love how we keep them moving the whole time. And this is Harmony's mom, and she said, like, it feels like you're there. It feels like you're here with us, and that's why she'll feel like she'll do it for a lifetime.
What would you say to someone who...
Anyway, you can watch this video later, but let me show you the rest of this. Now, here's what other people do. Here's what they do, whether it's other martial arts programs or soccer, baseball, or other things, okay? So anytime you do something online, they'll give you pre-recorded content. Hope you figure it out on your own. Good luck. They give you group classes, but you don't have any one-on-one support. Every time you get a belt, they charge you a testing fee or promotion fees. That's really related to martial arts and karate. Now, this one is really interesting, but a lot of times you get a coach or an instructor who has a lot of experience, but they're not the best teacher, okay? And if you've ever been through school, you know how important a really good teacher is. And especially when it comes to martial arts, they often, places just have curriculum that's not designed for kids. And they'll often use exercise as a punishment and don't teach a lot of practical life skills like eating healthy, where kids really need that these days. So that's what they do. Here's what we do differently. We do live classes with live instructors Monday through Saturdays, plus on-demand classes you can practice anytime. Now, here's why a lot of people come to Action Karate is because you get unlimited one-on-one video feedback anytime you want. So not only do you get support in a group class, but you also get one-on-one feedback, which our students love and they're able to benefit the most out of. And we never charge testing fees. We feel like you should earn everything, never have to buy it. All of our instructors are certified martial arts teachers and not just people that just have some karate experience or martial arts experience. And our curriculum is designed for kids to easily understand and practice at home. But not just like be able to practice it, but also to have fun with it. And we never use exercise as a punishment. That's the wrong frame. That exercise is something that happens to you when you're in trouble, and that's the exact opposite way we want to frame it. We want to frame it as like a reward, something you get to do to feel stronger and be healthier. And if we do nutrition challenges included in our curriculum, where your child's going to learn how to read a nutrition label, how to choose healthier foods, how to see like how much sugar is in something. We're very specific about how we do it, so that way your child is able to learn how to create better choices. Now, there's no reason for you to keep on being frustrated or wasting time and money signing up for different activities or tutors and hoping things work out. We've done this over and over and over again. So, are you ready to take action? Are you ready to join our team? Now, if you already applied, you can. You don't have to do this part if you already applied and scheduled a time. But if you didn't yet, what I want you to do is click on the button and apply now. We're going to ask you a series of questions, and we usually reject about 40% of applicants, which means the application is like half filled out, or it's clearly rushed, there's a bunch of spelling errors, they don't put any energy or effort into it. And we find that every time we accept families like that, they phase out really quickly. They don't follow the program like we we want them to. They don't get the success out of it, and it hurts our success numbers. So that's why now we reject 40% of our applicants, because we want to make sure that we're getting people who are serious, who really want to see the benefits of martial arts training. But I'm not really sure about this. Like, will it really work for me? Okay, well, what I would recommend, of course, is checking out our testimonials. Our biggest fans are our teachers. We have hundreds of testimonials from teachers, guidance counselors, and it will work for you if you follow the program. And I'm not just saying that because I hope it. I'm saying that because I've seen it happen with our students over and over and over again, and that's why we'll be able to last so long. So we need to talk now. Make sure to apply if you haven't yet, so we can chat and talk about the program. Now, is karate right for everyone? No, definitely not. And if you're still unsure if this is right for you, that's even more reason we should talk. So pick a time and apply now, and hit that button, go through the questions, and I'll see you soon.